Welcome back. Today we're diving into a brand new explainer under the English effect. We're going to step right into a deeply immersive, magical mystery, and we're going to pick up some seriously advanced English vocabulary along the way, completely naturally as the story unfolds. So, let's just jump right into this dark, enchanted world, shall we? Okay, picture the scene. You're walking down the shadowy, stone corridors of a magical boarding school. It's late, it's quiet, and then suddenly a chilling, disembodied voice echoes right through the walls. And the kicker? It's a voice only our hero, Harry Potter, can hear. You have to wonder, what dark force is whispering within those ancient candlelit walls? And that brings us to our very first word today, sinister. Because that voice Harry hears, it isn't just scary, it's genuinely sinister. When something is sinister, it gives you this profound, gut-level impression that something harmful or evil is happening or is about to happen. You can literally feel the danger sliding behind the stone. But the thing is, Harry actually got a warning before he even set foot back in the castle. Remember, before the school year even started, this deeply secretive little creature named Dobby just appears in Harry's bedroom. Sitting there under the glow of a solitary lamp, Dobby delivers this desperate warning to just stay away from Hogwarts. Why? Well, Dobby was absolutely terrified. He knew Harry was in grave danger, and he was trying to protect him from a deeply malevolent presence that was slowly waking up at the school. Malevolent. This is a great word. It means having or showing a wish to do evil to others. So it's not an accident, right? It's an intentional, dark desire to cause real harm.
Section 1. The Whispering Walls.
So the tension finally snaps when Harry, Ron, and Hermione stumble upon this incredibly eerie, visually striking scene. The floor of a corridor is completely flooded with water, and right there, painted on the stone wall in blood, is this incredibly threatening message. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the air, beware. This terrifying act perfectly illustrates our next word, desecrate. To desecrate means to damage or show absolutely no respect towards something sacred or historic. This unseen monster didn't just leave a creepy message. It desecrated the ancient, majestic architecture of the school. It violently defaced a place of learning and safety. And then the horror becomes entirely real when they find the very first victim. Hanging from a torch bracket is Mrs. Norris, the caretaker's cat. She's suspended by her tail, and she's completely frozen, with her eyes just wide open in absolute terror. It's one of those unforgettable images that really just deepens the whole mystery. Poor Mrs. Norris is petrified. Now, this is a fantastic word to add to your toolkit. In this specific magical context, it means literally turned to stone. But in everyday conversational English, to be petrified means to be paralyzed with absolute, overwhelming fear. It's a highly useful word when you really want to express a state of extreme, frozen panic, like I was absolutely petrified. Now, to understand exactly what is attacking these students, we really have to look backwards. 1,000 years ago, 4 great wizards founded the school. But a few decades later, one of them, Salazar Slytherin, demanded that only purebloods, meaning students from all magic families, be taught. When he couldn't sway the others, he left. But before his departure, he secretly sealed a hidden chamber. And now, in the present day, it seems his true heir has returned to unleash whatever is inside it. You see, Slytherin's dark ambition was to purge the school. To purge means to violently remove an unwanted group of people from an organization or a place. He essentially wanted to purge anyone he personally deemed unworthy to study magic. It's a heavy word for a very heavy concept. Moving on to Section 2. Following the spiders. Following a pretty cryptic clue from their giant friend Hagrid, the boys venture out into the dark woods. It's super atmospheric. The shadows start to lengthen, this heavy fog rolls in, and they're tracking this trail of giant arachnids that are just fleeing deep into the mist. As they walk deeper into a hollow, this strange, echoing, clicking sound begins to emanate from the darkness. To emanate means to issue or spread out from a specific source, and often it's a source that's completely unseen. You can almost feel the dread emanating from the trees as thousands of unseen spiders start to surround them. Well, they barely survive the spiders, but they do realize the monster attacking the students actually isn't an arachnid. The real breakthrough comes from Hermione, because even petrified, she held the answer. Crumpled up in her frozen hand is a torn library page, and it reads, "Of the many fearsome beasts that roam our land,
None is more deadly than the basilisk. It's a giant serpent, and it's been using the castle's plumbing to move around unseen. Brilliant, right?
Hermione's page perfectly describes the creature as fearsome. Fearsome simply means frightening, especially in appearance or in destructive power. It's the perfect word to connect to the massive scale and terrifying nature of an ancient, deadly snake that has lived for centuries down in the dark.
Section 3. The Heir Revealed.
Deep beneath the school, Harry finally confronts this monstrous serpent, and suddenly the whole puzzle clicks together. The previous victims? They were only petrified because they saw the monster indirectly, like in a puddle of water or through a ghost or in a mirror. But a direct look right into the basilisk's yellow eyes, that brings instant destruction. Yeah, a direct look is fatal. This word means causing death or leading to ultimate failure and disaster. It seamlessly describes the extreme, literal life-or-death stakes that Harry is facing down in the chamber. Just one wrong look, and it is a fatal mistake. But here's the twist. The snake isn't acting alone. Harry faces the memory of a former student named Tom Riddle. In a completely shocking moment, Riddle writes his name in the air, rearranges the glowing letters, and reveals his true identity, saying, "I fashioned myself a new name. I became the greatest sorcerer in the world." Tom Riddle is actually the Dark Lord Voldemort. Riddle is incredibly arrogant and cruel. He brags to Harry about how he previously framed the kind-hearted Hagrid for his own crimes, actually calling Hagrid a brainless oaf. Now, an oaf is a very character-driven insult. It means a clumsy, uncultured, or unintelligent person. Riddle's use of this word really just highlights his own deep prejudice and cruelty. And then the epic cinematic climax kicks in. Armed with absolutely nothing but a magically delivered glowing sword and true courage, Harry battles the serpent in the dark. It totally echoes that classic storytelling trope of a knight slaying a dragon, relying entirely on bravery when absolutely all the odds are stacked against him. Ultimately, Harry survives. He slays the beast, destroys Riddle's memory, and he even manages to free Dobby the house elf. Afterwards, the headmaster praises Harry for his resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. Harry definitely didn't have the most powerful magic, but his resourcefulness and sheer determination absolutely saved the day. And that brings this immersive explainer to a close. We've traveled through an incredibly tense fantasy mystery today, and hopefully picked up some genuinely powerful English vocabulary along the way. So my final question to you is this. Which of today's magical vocabulary words, maybe sinister or petrified or resourcefulness, will you use in your own story? I really encourage you to continue your English journey through storytelling. Make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely drop a comment below using your favorite new word from today's explainer. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring.